You can't rise and conquer if you wake up comfortable. I need you to hear me. Your bed is the most dangerous place in your house. Not because it's soft, not because it's warm, but because it's where dreams get postponed, where goals get delayed, where hunger fades. Every single morning when that alarm clock goes off, it's not just noise, it's a battle cry. It's the sound that separates the ones who will do something with their lives from the ones who will keep talking about what they are planning to do. That alarm is a call to arms, and you have to decide every morning if you're going to answer the call or hit snooze and surrender. Some of you wake up, and the first thing you grab is your phone. You're scrolling, liking, commenting, watching somebody else live their dream while your own is starving to death. You're feeding your distractions instead of feeding your destiny. I'm telling you right now, the first move of your day sets the tone for the rest of it. If you wake up hungry, hungry to grow, hungry to build, hungry to push yourself, you will start moving before your mind even has a chance to talk you out of it. You can't wait for motivation to knock on your door. Motivation is not coming to find you. Hunger is something you create by reminding yourself what's at stake every single day. Let me keep it real with you. Hunger is not about physical appetite. Hunger is about that internal craving for more out of life. When you're hungry, you don't need somebody to tell you to get up early. You don't need somebody to remind you to stay late. You don't need applause or recognition. Hunger will wake you up before your alarm clock. Hunger will keep you moving when the money hasn't shown up yet. Hunger will have you practicing when the crowd isn't there, studying when the exam isn't tomorrow, training when the season hasn't started. Hunger will make you uncomfortable with mediocrity. Some of you aren't losing because you're not talented. You're losing because you're not talented. Somewhere such you've lost your appetite. You've been eating off last year's win for too long. You hit one goal and thought that was it. You took your foot off the gas. You forgot that the grind doesn't stop because you had one good day, one good month, good year. Hunger doesn't retire. Hunger doesn't take vacation. Hunger doesn't care what you did yesterday. It only cares what you're willing to do today. I've met people who had all the gifts in the world, but they couldn't beat the person who wanted it more. I'm talking about the kind of hunger that makes you push past pain, push past rejection, push past embarrassment. The kind of hunger that doesn't just want to win, it refuses to lose. That's the hunger I'm talking about. The hunger that makes you keep going even when your body says stop, your mind says quit, and your friends say you're crazy. The hunger that makes you willing to sacrifice comfort, sleep, and leisure because you know the price of staying the same is higher than the cost of change. Every morning you got two choices. Feed your hunger or feed your excuses. Your excuses sound good. They always do. I'm tired. I worked hard yesterday. It's cold outside. And nobody else is doing it. And maybe those excuses will keep you comfortable today, but tomorrow you'll still be in the same place, wondering why nothing has changed. Meanwhile, the hungry person is out there taking what could have been yours. Opportunities don't wait. They go to the one who's ready, the one who's alert, the one who's prepared. Hunger will have you up before the sun, grinding when the rest of the world is asleep. Hunger will keep you in the gym when your friends have gone home. Hunger will have you studying until your eyes hurt because you know knowledge is power. Hunger will have you making phone calls, sending emails, knocking on doors when everyone else has given up. Hunger will force you to stretch yourself, to go places you've never been, to do things you've never done. Because deep down, you know there's more in you. You know you're not here to live an average life. When you wake up hungry, you stop blaming circumstances and start creating them. You stop waiting for the perfect time and start working with the time you have. You stop comparing yourself to others and start competing with a version of yourself from yesterday. You understand that hunger doesn't care if it's raining, snowing, or if you had a bad day. Hunger says, we've got work to do. Some of you need to get back to that point where you wanted it so bad you could taste it. Remember when you were broke and you promised yourself you'd never live like that again? Remember when you were overlooked, counted out, underestimated? Remember how that felt? That's the fire you need every single morning. Don't let success make you soft. Don't let comfort rob you of your drive. If you're not careful, you'll start living up what you did yesterday, and yesterday's grind won't win today's battle. If you want to win today, you got to start by winning the morning. It's that simple. The first few hours of your day are either going to put you ahead of everybody else or guarantee you spend the whole day playing catch up. And I'm telling you right now, most of you are losing the day before you've even really started it because you're letting your morning slip through your fingers. You're waking up late, you're dragging your feet, you're letting your phone, your notification, your emails control your attention before you even control your own mind. You think you're just easing into the day, but the truth is, you're surrendering your momentum before the race has even started. When you own the morning, you create your own momentum. You're not reacting to the world, you're directing it. There's something powerful about waking up when it's still dark outside, when the world is quiet, when most people are still sleeping. You got that space, that stillness, that clarity to decide what kind of day you're going to have before the noise comes in and tries to dictate it for you. You've got to claim that time. That's sacred time. That's championship time. Let me tell you something. The most successful people in the world aren't sleeping in. They're not rolling out of bed at 10 a.m. and wondering why their dreams aren't happening. They're up before everybody else, putting in work before everybody else, getting a head start while the competition is still dreaming. They know that the morning sets the tone for everything else. If they control those first few hours, they control the flow of the entire day. And if you think this is about some morning person nonsense, it's about discipline. It's about deciding that you're going to lead the day instead of letting the day lead you. If you're serious about rising and conquering, you got to wake up earlier than your excuses. You got to beat your distractions out of bed. Before your phone starts buzzing, before social media starts screaming for your attention, before your job starts making demands. You got to give your goals the first and best part of your energy. Don't give the leftovers of your day to your dream. Don't give your dream whatever scraps of time you had after everything else is done. That's not how you conquer. You conquer by putting your purpose at the top of your priorities. I need you to understand this. How you start your morning will either fuel you or drain you. If you start the day rushing, panicking, running late, already behind, you're going to carry that energy in everything else you do. But if you start calm, intentional, focused, and proactive, you're going to carry that momentum forward. I'm talking about waking up, hitting your routine, doing something for your body, your mind, and your mission before the world even has a chance to interrupt you. Whatever it is that moves you forward, do it before the sun comes up on that time. Some of you are going to tell me, but E.T., I'm not a morning person. I hear you. But I'm not asking you to be a morning person. I'm asking you to be a success person. I'm asking you to be a domination person. I'm asking you to be the kind of person who's willing to do whatever it takes to get ahead, even if it means changing your habits. The morning isn't magic. The morning is just a window of time where most of your competition is asleep and you can do the work without distraction. You don't have to like it. You just have to use it. There's something about being up early that shifts your mindset. You start feeling like you're ahead of the game, like you got extra time, like you're not racing the clock all day long. And that confidence compounds. You're sharper in your meetings. You're more creative with your ideas. You're more disciplined in your decisions. You've already got a win before 8 a.m. And now you're stacking wins on top of wins. That's how momentum works. And momentum is everything in this game. The truth is, you can't own the day if you don't own yourself first. And the morning is the perfect time to master yourself because there are no excuses left. It's just you, the clock, and your willpower. If you can beat the temptation to stay in bed, if you can beat the desire to roll over and waste another hour, you're training yourself to beat bigger temptations later. You're training yourself to act on your priorities, not your feelings. You're training yourself to lead your life, not follow your mood. Let me put it this way. If your dream is worth it, you'll make the time for it. And the easiest way to make time is to wake up earlier. You can't create more hours in the day, but you can take the hours you've been sleeping through and put in the work. Imagine how much further ahead you'd be if you claimed just 1 or 2 of those hours every day for your goals. That's 14 hours a week. That's 60 hours a month. Everybody loves the start. The start is easy. At the start, you're motivated, you're excited, you got fresh energy, you're posting on social media about the journey you're on, you're telling everybody, I'm going to do this. The start feels good, and everybody loves the finish line. The finish line is where you get the applause, the celebration, the trophies, the recognition. But there's this part in between the start and the finish that nobody likes to talk about. That's the middle. And the middle is where dreams go to die. The middle is where the hype is gone, the energy is low, and the work feels heavier than it did when you began. That's the part that separates the winners from the quitters. When you start something, you got vision. You can see the goal. You can imagine the end result. You can picture yourself living the dream. That vision fuels you for a while. But when you get in the middle, the picture gets blurry. You're too far from the start to feel that rush, and you're too far from the end to feel that victory. All you got is the grind in front of you. The middle is where your mind starts playing tricks on you, telling you it's not worth it, telling you you're not good enough, telling you to settle for what you've already done. This is where people start dropping out one by one. This is where people start making excuses, start blaming circumstances, start convincing themselves that maybe it wasn't meant to be. The middle is where fatigue sets in. Your body's tired, your mind's tired. You've been doing this for weeks, months, maybe years, and you still don't see the finish line. You start wondering if all this effort is even making a difference. And I'm telling you right now, that's exactly the moment you gotta dig deeper. The middle is not a sign to stop, it's the sign that you're in the exact place where growth happens. The middle is where character is built, where discipline is forged, where mental toughness is created. Anybody can start strong, anybody can finish strong, if they can see the line in front of them. But it takes a different kind of person to keep pushing when there's no applause, no recognition, and no proof that it's working yet. When you hit the middle, you gotta stop looking at how far you got left to go and start focusing on the step that's in front of you. Stop worrying about the miles ahead. Take the next step and then the next. Break it down. Because in the middle, if you think too much about the whole distance, it'll crush you. The middle will make you feel small. It'll make you feel like your goal is impossible. That's why you gotta shrink the fight. Win the day, win the hour. Win the moment you're in. That's how you survive the middle. You've also got to remember why you started. The middle will make you forget. You'll get so caught up in the weight of the work that you forget the reason you picked this path in the first place. Go back and remind yourself of the vision you had at the start. Remind yourself of the pain you were trying to get away from, the dream you were chasing, the person you were trying to become. That reminder is the fuel you need when your tank is on empty. Sometimes the only thing that will carry you through the middle is your why. You've got to make peace with the fact that the middle is not supposed to feel good. It's supposed to stretch you. It's supposed to test you. It's supposed to test you. It's supposed to expose your weaknesses so you can fix them before you hit the finish line. If you quit in the middle, you'll never know what kind of strength you really have. You'll never know what kind of person you could become. The middle is not the enemy. It's the proving ground. It's the place where you earn the right to cross the finish line. Most people think they're tired in the middle because they've run out of energy, but that's not always true. A lot of people tired in the middle because they've lost focus. You start getting distracted. You start letting little things pull you off track. And once your focus is gone, everything feels heavier. In the middle, you gotta double down on focus. You gotta block out everything that doesn't move you toward the goal. You can't afford to waste energy on things that don't matter. Just in the middle, every ounce of energy counts. You've got to talk to yourself differently in the middle. In the beginning, the hype can talk for you. In the end, the victory talks for you. But in the middle, it's quiet. And if you don't open your mouth and speak life into yourself, you'll hear nothing but the voice of doubt. You've got to be your own coach, your own cheerleader, own motivator. Tell yourself you're built for this. Tell yourself you've come too far to turn back. Tell yourself you're not stopping until it's done. Everybody in this room has been through something. Pain is the one thing we've all got in common. I don't care where you're from, how much money you've got, what your background is, pain has knocked on your door at some point. Some of you have lost people you love. Lost people you love. Some of you have been betrayed by people you trusted. Some of you have had doors slammed in your face over and over. Some of you have worked your fingers to the bone and still felt like it wasn't enough. Pain is universal. But here's the difference between those who rise and conquer and those who stay stuck. Winners don't let pain break them. They let it build them. They take that pain and turn it into fuel. They don't just survive it. They weaponize it. Pain will either be your prison or your power. It will either hold you hostage, making you bitter, resentful, and afraid, or it will make you sharper, stronger, and more determined than you've ever been. You get to choose. You can sit there and let your pain convince you that you're a victim, that the world is against you, that you'll never get a break. Or you can decide that your pain is proof you're still in the fight, proof you've got something worth pushing for, proof you can take a hit and keep moving. I need you to understand, some of the strongest people you'll ever meet aren't strong because life was easy. They're strong because life tried to break them and they refused to stay broken. When life hurts you, easy to pull back. It's easy to pull back. It's easy to stop giving your best. You think, why should I try? I got burned last time. I gave everything and got nothing. But that's the trap. Pain wants to convince you to play small. Pain wants you to settle. Pain wants you to believe that the safest thing to do is to do nothing at all. But nothing will keep you in the same place. Nothing will make you miss out on every blessing, every opportunity, every victory that's waiting for you. You've got to flip it. You got to make pain your reason, not your excuse. Think about it. Some of the most successful people in history came from pain. They came from nothing. They were told to know more times than they could count. They were laughed at, underestimated, counted out. But instead of letting that break them, they let it light a fire inside of them. They didn't say, I'll never try again. They said, I'll make sure I never feel this way again. That's the mindset. That's the shift. You take your pain and you make it a promise to yourself, to your family, to your future, that you're going to use every ounce of it to push forward. When I say use your pain as power, I'm not talking about pretending it doesn't hurt. I'm not talking about ignoring it or acting like you're not affected. I'm saying acknowledge it, feel it, and then channel it. Let that heartbreak push you to work harder. Let that failure make you sharper. Let that disappointment fuel your discipline. You've got to learn to convert the energy of pain into the energy of progress. Because here's the truth, pain is energy. It's raw, it's intent. And if you don't direct it, it will destroy you. But if you do direct it, it can become the most powerful force you've ever had. Some of you have been carrying pain for years, and it's been weighing you down because you haven't given it a job to do. You've just been dragging it with you, letting it drain you. You've been replaying the same moments in your head, asking, why me? Instead of asking, how can I use this? The moment you give your pain a purpose, it stops being a weight and starts being a weapon. It stops slowing you down and starts propelling you forward. You can't change what happened, but you can change what it does to you. There's a reason why the hardest seasons of your life leave the deepest marks. They're trying to teach you something. Pain teaches you patience. Pain teaches you resilience. Pain teaches you resilience. Pain teaches you what's worth fighting for, and when you use it right, pain teaches you how powerful you really are. Some of you have no idea how strong you are because you've been avoiding situations that would show you. You've been avoiding discomfort, avoiding risk, avoiding failure, but those are the very things that will bring out your best if you stop running from them. You've got to stop asking for an easy life. You've got to stop wishing away every challenge. Because if you got everything you wanted without struggle, you wouldn't appreciate it. You wouldn't protect it. You wouldn't protect it. You wouldn't have the strength to keep it. Struggle and pain shape you into the kind of person who can handle success when it comes. Without that, success will slip right through your fingers. Starting is important. Building momentum is important. But none of it matters if you don't finish. Nobody remembers the person who almost won the race. Nobody talks about the team that was ahead in the first quarter but didn't close. Nobody celebrates the person who had big dreams but never made them reality. The world celebrates finisher. Champions aren't crowned because they have potential. They're crowned because they crossed the line. And if you want to rise and conquer, you've got to stop starting things you don't finish. You got to stop quitting 3 feet from goal. You got to stop getting so close to your breakthrough and then letting fatigue, doubt, or distraction pull you away. Finishing like a champion means deciding that once you start something, quit is not an option. It's about committing before you even know how hard it's going to get. It's about saying, I will see this through no matter what comes my way. Because here's the truth. Once you've invested time, energy, blood, sweat, and tears into something, the cost of quitting is higher than the cost of finishing. When you quit, you have nothing to show for all that effort. But when you finish, even if it was messy, even if it took longer than you planned, even if you stumbled along the way. You've got proof that you can do hard things. You've got evidence that you can keep a promise to yourself. And that changes how you approach every goal after that. The hardest part about finishing strong is that it almost never happens when it's convenient. In the beginning, you've got excitement on your side. In the middle, you've hopefully found your rhythm. But near the end, that's when the weight feels heaviest. That's when you're tired, when you've given so much already that it feels like there's nothing left to give. That's when your body's screaming to stop. When your mind is telling you it's good enough. When you start thinking about all the reasons you could just let it go. But champions don't stop when they're tired. They stop when it's done. And even then, they look for ways to go beyond done. When you're in that final stretch, you gotta push harder than you thought possible. You gotta dig deeper into reserves you didn't even know you had. Because that's where the separation happens. That's where the ones who want it meet the ones who need it. Wanting something is good enough to get you started, but needing it is what's going to make you finish, no matter what. When you need it, when it's not just a goal, but a must, you'll find a way to keep moving even when everything in you says, stop. You gotta close the gap between what you said you would do and what you're actually doing. Finishing is about integrity. It's about being the kind of person who follows through. It's about proving to yourself that your word means something. Every time you finish, you build that muscle. And every time you quit, you weaken it. If you keep quitting when it gets tough, you train yourself to fold under pressure. But if you keep finishing, you train yourself to be relentless. Finishing like a champion also means finishing with excellence. It's not enough to just cross the line. You've got to cross it with your best effort. Don't crawl over it because you gave up mentally 2 miles back. Don't limp over it because you stopped caring. Finish in a way that makes you proud. Finish in a way that leaves no doubt. Finish in a way that tells the world you didn't just show up. You showed out. Champions don't lower their standards when they're close to the end. In fact, they raise them. They sprint the last 100 meters. They tighten their form. They sharpen their focus. They want the last thing they do to be the best thing they do. The reason a lot of people never taste victory is because they stop short. They put in 80%, 90%, even 95% of the work, and then they ease up. They think the win is already guaranteed. But the truth is, some of the biggest upsets happen in those last few moments because someone got comfortable, someone got distracted, someone thought they had it in the bag. If you're going to finish like a champion, you've got to stay locked in until the mission is complete. You've got to protect the goal until it's in your hands. The finish line is also where fear tries to sneak in. Fear of actually succeeding, fear of what comes next. Because when you finish one thing, now the bar is higher. People expect more from you. You expect more from yourself, and that can be scary. But you can't let fear make you slow down. You can't let fear make you sabotage yourself. You've got to run through that line with everything you've got, knowing that whatever comes after, you're ready for it because you just proved you can do the hard thing. When you finish like a champion, you set a standard, not just for yourself, but for everybody watching you. You show them what commitment looks like. You show them what discipline looks like.